Hey, this is Matt once again. What about 10 of the videos? The paid request this time for Gia. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested requesting any type of topics or reactions, commentaries or reviews or re-reviews or whatever it be, rantings, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Gia wanted me to talk about another comparison, Batman and Robin versus Thor, Love and Blunder. Now, this took me about 30 seconds to decide because they're both pretty terrible movies. They are. But, yes, I would say if I have to pick, I would rather watch Batman and Robin. I think that's a terrible movie. I think Thor Love and Thunder is a terrible movie. So I would say neither. But if I have to pick, have to. I would pick Batman and Robin as I would rather watch because number one, at the very least, it's so stupid throughout it, from beginning to end, that you just kind of laugh at it. And I know it's supposed to be connected with the Tim Burton films, but at the same time, it's such a 180 where there's no Michael Keaton. I mean, there's Michael Goff as Alfred, and there's Pat Hingle as Gordon, Commissioner Gordon. But at the same time, it feels so off the map that it still feels like you could separate it easier. While Thor, Love and Thunder, Chris Hemsworth comes back as Thor, so it's hard to separate that more in a weird way, and the continuity of it all. And Batman and Robin, there are moments you can laugh at it where, in a way, it's consistently tonal in its goofiness. Everything's goofy. George Clooney as Batman. This is why Superman works alone. The Batman credit card. Poison Ivy being over the top. Arnold being over the top. Trying to get his men to sing while wearing slippers and try to sing Christmas jingles. Thor Love and Thunder, it wants to have a serious dark story with Christian Bale, whose child was killed, and he wants revenge because the gods screwed him over and he believed in one thing. I think Christian Bale's character has potential, and they cut a lot of his stuff out, and that made me mad. And I like Christian Bale in that movie, and I think that is even more infuriating because I think he thought of one movie, and they didn't want him to do that, so they cut all his stuff out, and they wanted to make more of a group. So it's just, his stuff is serious. Chris Hemsworth's stuff is goofy. Also, Batman is the star. He is doing it all, helping Robin, doing everything. Thor, he's goofing up all the time or screwing up all the time. Or, I mean, you just say a lot of stuff for Batman and Batman Robin. He wasn't a loser. The movie was goofy and silly, but Batman wasn't a loser. Thor is a loser in Love and Thunder. I mean, from the beginning, where the Guardians of the Galaxy is doing all the work, and then Thor, I'll come in and I'm fat, blah, blah, blah. And when you think with the consistency of Chris Hemsworth being in now just, not just those four, but Avengers films, there'd be a definement of what the character is, and there isn't. It seems like every movie he guys go through this arc of finding himself every single time. Who am I? What am I? What do I represent? What should I be? Didn't we figure that out at the end of the first Thor movie? How is it now still you're still trying to figure it out? At least Batman Robin didn't do that. It was just a stupid movie that was a toy commercial. At least Batman and Robin, I can admire some of the architecture. Because while there's CG, there is some practical looking stuff in there with set design. Granted, because it was a toy commercial and they did to sell toys, but as a visual aspect, is some nice practical set design artwork to look at. Again, everything was just very goofball and silly and irritating. Thor: Love and Thunder, because everything's much more CGI and green screen. You can't even admire much of that. And you got Natalie Portman being a better Thor than Thor. You got all the little kids and using all the little kids to fight and kick ass. Do you imagine Batman trying to get kids? Be like, I can't do my job because I suck. So let's get all these little kids to help us out because we suck too badly. Even Batman and Batman Robin didn't need to get a bunch of little kids. Listen, little kids, I need you to fight Mr. Freeze's henchmen because I'm too much of a pussy. Bad pussy, every other pussy. No, Thor is a big joke pussy. That's another thing. As much as Batman is bad in Batman and Robin, you never thought him as a loser or a pussy. Just George Clooney being George Clooney and miscast, not that well written. But at the same time, not a loser or a wimp. And like I said, they wanted to have the Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok laughs and fun. But then Christian Bale tried to be like this more serious villain. But then, no, we can't do that because we had either go back to comedy, we gotta go back to his Natalie Portman. She's got cancer. I was saying it's like all this goofball stuff. Now Natalie Portman has cancer. Her character, like what? It's like whiplash at times. Batman Robin didn't have that. It was consistently cartoony and stupid. So at least there's that. Also, as superficial as this sounds, at least in Batman and Robin, I liked some of the music. However I feel about R. Kelly as a person, I liked his song Gotham City. I do. I do think it's a good song. I think it's a song that works well for Batman. Again, R. Kelly as a human being, not a fan. And that's a time where, I could try to separate the art from the artist because in the art itself, it's not consisted of the stuff he did as a person. Victor Salva, in the films he directed, there was. Bryan Singer and some of the stuff he did, like in Now Pupil, you can see it, in my opinion. R. Kelly, okay, I could listen to the song and enjoy it. Even the, what was it, Smashing Pumpkins song, which then they retooled it and became and all the trailers for Watchmen. I forget, it's the beginning. Is it the beginning is the end is the beginning? Or the end is the beginning is the end? I forget which one it is. Even the score, Elliot Goldenthal, it might not be my favorite score, but it has some catchy stuff to it. Thor: Love and Thunder, I mean, okay, there's the one piece of music I do like. Guns N' Roses. Love Guns N' Roses. But that's the only bit of the music I remember liking at all. The rest of the score or other stuff, can't think of it at all. And also Disney Marvel films today, they're propaganda and trying to sell you all this stuff that you need to morally represent. The propaganda in Batman Robin was blatantly to sell toys, more toys and more toys. So I guess both are propaganda, but the toy selling in a weird way is less offensive than what Disney tries to do today in their Marvel films. And you could get some fun with Arnold Schwarzenegger's one-liners, potentially. From the cooler. Granted, if I want that, I'll just watch The Running Man or Commando or other Arnold films that I actually do enjoy if I want the one-liners, but you can potentially, I guess. And like I said, I mean, both films are terrible. But like I said, at least Batman and Robin, I could separate because it's someone else playing Batman, and while it shares like two supporting actors, it still feels like its own universe in a weird way. While this, you got Chris Hemsworth, and you got the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you got Natalie Portman, and these other characters that we see in these other Thor films. You see where it went and how it derided and how it delved into the deeper dicks of the solitude of shit. And then it's like saying, oh, well, Thor sucked at his job. Natalie Portman was a better Thor. And now this new daughter, it could potentially be a better Thor as well. That's what I mean. I didn't feel that they both were crappy. You could argue maybe Batman and Robin. You can think of the characters maybe a take on Adam West, goofy type of Batman. But if he feels a disservice, I absolutely agree and get that. But at the same time, it's like it's a disservice because of the tone. Thor was a disservice because of the what Disney wants to force in this propaganda, and in a weird way feels more detrimental to the character in a weird way. And you could argue that Batman and Robin was so bad that it gave you and the world the opportunity to go the opposite way, to thus go towards Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, which a lot of people liked, or The Batman, which I liked. And so it casts itself in the limelight as a beacon of we don't want to see Batman that way again. With Thor, Love and Thunder, I mean, granted, time will tell, but so far no beacon has been sent about, yeah, don't do that. Like Batman Robin, at least, hell, Joe Schumacher apologized. And Joe Schumacher's a better director than Tahiti, whatever the fuck his name is, will ever be. People can make fun of Joel Schumacher all they want. Rest in peace to the guy. You know what? Joel, he gave me DC Cab. He gave me The Lost Boys. He gave me 8mm. He gave me Phone Booth. A Time to Kill. Falling Down. Flatliners. A lot of pretty damn good movies. Even Tigerland is pretty decent. A lot of good movies. Everyone a winner? No. Number 23, not a fan. But Joe Schumacher, I see more good movies than bad, and he gave me a lot of good movies. He was not the fifth for Batman, but I don't think he's a bad director. He just wasn't the right fit, and also the companies told him to go in this direction. Don't be dark, because they got butthurt because McDonald's got butthurt about Batman Returns being too dark for their French fries to sell. And Joel Schumacher was doing what he was told. But yes, does he take some of the blame? Yes, that's why he apologized. So far I haven't seen Tahashi, whatever the fuck, apologize. So that's another note to give to Batman and Robin. So yeah. I would rather watch Batman and Robin and laugh at it. Thor, Love and Thunder, I would cringe at it. Both are bad movies. One I can laugh at, one I could go and get mad at. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.